Hello, and welcome to my channel on scriptural analysis. During subsequent videos, I will attempt to simplify the biblical governance model of God and assist you in understanding the message within the writings. So welcome to video 1, an introduction. And yes, I know you could be thinking, who is this person that I should listen to his comments on a historical book that tells of events occurring as much as 6,000 years ago? Well, I am just someone who has dedicated over 30 years to asking questions regarding this historical book and studying from it, trying to ascertain the purpose and reason why such a book exists. I mean, it constantly ranks year over year as one of the best-selling books in the world. And yet, when I talk to people or teach lessons from this book, I find that many who claim to participate in groups where this book is a centerpiece of discussion and gathering have never really read it cover to cover, or have actually studied it, as it suggests, line upon line, precept upon precept. And having done some of that myself during the past 3 decades, I can understand why. There's a lot going on within these pages, and many times it is difficult to understand just what the focus is over such an immense timeline. And to make reading this history even harder for today and tomorrow's generation, new and exciting other factors now compete for their precious time, so that they are ever learning, but rarely learning in regards to this book. I'm a career educator, 26 years so far, having participated in encouraging lifelong learning to thousands of high school students. During that time, they have taught me a lot about making sense out of delivering large quantities of hard-to-define content. And you know what? That sounds like the scriptures to me, large quantities of hard-to-define content. One of the early teaching techniques I was taught to assist learners in any area was a practice that incorporated a strategy called whole part whole. This essentially means that it is best to introduce the learner to the whole concept of what you are going to teach. Then break down the concept into simpler, manageable parts to provide the learner the best chance to understand what you would like them to know. And then revisit the whole concept with them so they can apply a solid foundation towards learning and understanding. It's kind of like knowing the end from the beginning. It is much easier for us, when we set out to learn something new, to understand just what it is we need to know, to reach the defined destination we all can achieve, thus understanding when we have reached our objective. Did you know that the scriptures seek to assist the reader in understanding the end from the beginning? Well, they do, and it's exciting when you see it. Kind of like finding hidden treasures placed within a well-known map that define further knowledge towards your betterment. But first, let me state this right now. I am not going to make these videos as an attempt to do anything else but show how this concept of revealed knowledge is placed within the timelines associated with this book, and eventually others. So if you are looking for the preaching of fire and brimstone, or bellowing from the altar towards condemnation of guilt, shame, sin, and hell, you won't find that here. Instead, as I am principally making these videos to share what I have come to realize with my family regarding this history, you will find a very simple approach to teaching and a fascinating expose of what the authors of this book have included within its pages. Some of these writers are surely the greatest literary artists of all time. Now, regardless of your personal opinion of what are called the scriptures, and regardless of your personal past experiences with these scriptures, the circumstances of where you have discussed them and with whom, or the many external opinions of what you have heard or read about them, for good or bad, I would encourage you to take a few minutes whenever a new video is posted to this channel, to watch it and see if you learn anything of value. Because one thing that is quite clear in this book is that whatever you decide to believe during this life, you decide as an individual, completely responsible for the decisions you make. After all, this is a real book that has existed for many thousands of years and can be directly linked to actual periods of human history. Real people who authored the pages, providing comments on real societies that were created, rose to great heights, succumbed to the many distractions that kept accumulating within their society that ultimately weakened them, and fell in tragic circumstances, all for similar reasons. The authors of this book, reportedly understanding the end from the beginning, carefully selected circumstances of their day and their defined history which they understood, to potentially teach us about being prepared in our day, using many techniques we teach our youth today. Learning strategies using literary devices such as metaphors, personifications, figures, types, symbols, patterns, circumstances that parallel each other, and so forth. My goal is to simplify these writings so that anyone can realize the objective of the book, which teaches of the unchanging governance of a Creator God as He governs His children on the earth, through the perfect administrative efforts of His only begotten Son. These efforts are defined as being the same yesterday, today, and forever. The purpose of these videos will be to show the existence of such a pattern, and will also point out the defined benefits described as being freely available to all people participating in such a governance strategy. I hope you enjoy this channel. Please subscribe. It's free, just like the videos, but subscription will provide you a notification of when a new video is posted. And by the way, tell your friends to check it out as well. And although I cannot promise regularly scheduled video postings, I can promise that these videos will keep coming until I have met my objective of teaching, in a very simple format, some of the hidden gems revealed in the author's work that are not readily apparent to the casual reader. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to you joining me for the next video in this series as I identify to you the holistic nature of the topics to be delivered. Until next time, take care and contemplate these things.